So that was the main error, no? I was too assuming, no? It's my fault anyway, no? That the code is correct because I have run it once. So there's the fault there, no? This should be restaurant burger, okay? Because if you look at the ORM, it selects star from restaurant burger. Now, if you look at the connection connects to localhost burgers DB, okay? And if you look at the schema, okay, use burgers DB, okay na siya, no? Burgers DB. Do you follow? So I had to recreate burgers DB, no? And then all you need to do is grab all on burgers db.star to root 1. Okay, and then you execute it here. Now, it's advisable that if you use if you create root 1 as no, you use this. You use this, no? Dito sa security, mas madali dito sa data workbench because it allows you to create a user with a blank password. And then you just take note there's already burgers DB. Do you follow? Do you get my point? Any questions so far? Okay. I was insisting on running the code because there's a very important example there, no? Especially involving Ajax, no? Okay, so let me run this now. So it runs at port 9001. Okay, so I can do this remotely, no? I can even do this remotely. So for example, I will I know that the 19, no? Colon 9001. Okay, so ayan, do you follow? So it has a CRUDs, no? You can add a burger, shall we say cheeseburger. Ano ba yung Hawaiian, no? Burger. Okay. So i-add niya, no? They follow, and then you can view all burgers. Okay. You can delete. No, these are your favorite, and these are your unfavorite burgers, no? And then if you go home, these are your favorite non-favorite burgers by default, no? By default, when you add a burger, it's unfavorite, no? Okay, so we can, for example, the Hawaiian burger. Okay, we can bakit nawala, no? Refresh. Okay. Nandito yung Hawaiian burger, but it's not there in the we can delete this for the moment. That's the delete, no? And then let's go back home and then add it again. I think we need to add it to favorite. Okay, and then favorites. Bakit wala, no? Okay, we'll find out why later. But anyway, that's the CRUD. Okay, you have home, no? And then you can add this. Shall we try this? Add this to favorite. Yes, and then we go to favorites. Okay, there it is, no? And then let's try to find out why it's not added, no? Okay, it's there. Okay, maybe refresh lang. It's already there, no? Okay. Okay. It's already there. Nandito na yung Hawaiian, okay? Unfavorite. Okay, I've changed it to favorite. No? You just have to refresh. Okay, any questions? Now, if you have no questions, let us look at the code, okay? Titingnan natin ngayon yung code on how it works, okay? And then we'll use another, no? There's another CRUDs, no? Which is by Radi, no? Incidentally, it's a better code, I think, no? So the server.js, no? So it uses the following. First, it uses express, of course, method override. I know what this is, what this is for, no? But just just use it in it's a boilerplate, as they call it, no? It's part of the boilerplate. It's already cooked, so you just eat it, no? So, and then there's body parser. Body parser is actually a module which allows Express to parse the body of your views or your HTML, and then pass the parameters, okay, from one route to another, no? Without using Ajax. This is a scaffolded Ajax. Do you follow? Siya na magpapadala. You don't even have to use Ajax in jQuery, no? And then we have this. Now the main reason why I was lately, no, when I compile this, no, you don't need to have that engine here anymore. I'm not sure if it's because of the version, no, because I have just updated the version here, no. O mag-error na siya. Previously, you have to write it here, but now conversely, you have to delete it again. Anyway, you just have to do this by trial and error, no. If there's an error without the engine, then you have to put that engine. If there's no error, then that's correct already, no. Okay, do you follow? It may be the version of Express handlebars, no, because I've downloaded a new version of Express handlebars. Okay. The body parser will allow you to pass parameters. The body that rec that params, no? Rec that body that params, no? It's the body parser that does it for you, even without having to display the parameters in the URL. Now, you can have a .end, no? Pwede kang maggawa ng, you can create a .end file, new file here. You can have .env, no? Where you are going to store, no? You are going to store your environment variables. Like for example here, no, that's what this is for, no, the port. Okay, so you can say port equals 9001 para let's try this at 8000. Okay, I'll save, then let's run it again. So 9000. I'm not sure why it's using, no, but it should be an override, no. If you did not define port, let's try not to define it, or 9001, whichever comes first. Let's remove this. Okay, if it works. Okay, I'm not sure why it didn't get the port, no, but it should be the purpose. I'll check that later, no. For the moment, we'll just disregard .env. That's the purpose of .env, where you can save all your global variables so that you don't have to repeat them in each line of code where you are using them. Okay, do you follow? So you just have to this is another boilerplate. Okay, this needed by body parser in order to be able to convert to JSON. Before, you cannot use this without having to use URL encoded, no? The body parser, no? Automatically, no, body parser will convert all parameters passed, no, from in HTML to the server and vice versa into JSON, even without having to use Ajax in jQuery, no? So it's a very good facility, no? Although there's an Ajax example here, no? Any questions so far? Okay. So if you look at this, no, it will require routes. Okay, and routes will require connection. Do you follow? If you look at routes, no, okay, routes handlers. Okay, so if you look at route handlers will require Express. It's a router, and it will require ORM. Actually, in other platforms, in other examples, they call it models, but it's used by the author as ORM. It's named by the author for object relational model, but some others normally call it models.js. Okay, because development, no, is following the concept called models, views, controllers, routes, MVCR. Okay, so models have to refer to the database, no, the database operations. Okay, now if you look at this, no, connection requires requires that connection, which is this, the same file and the same folder in config. Do you follow? So if you look at server, no, it requires routes that handlers, no? And then if you go to handlers, no, this requires that config ORM stuff. Okay, that config ORM will call connection, and connection will declare this. There's another way. There's a better way to connect. Let me look at that. Look that up now. With an error correction, because you can't do this with without checking now if you have the right connection or not. Connecting to MySQL in Node with errors. I forgot the code, no? I already wrote it down. Okay. Ito. Okay. Connection.connect will throw a function and error, no? Okay, you copy this. Okay, and we'll put it here. Connection.connect. Okay, so if error, okay, if error, we throw the error, and then we release the connection. Okay, and then we say else. We have a console.log connected. Because sometimes you have a wrong password, okay? I'll post this anyway, no? A wrong password or a wrong account, and you will have no way of finding out, no? Okay, so you take note, no? You have successfully connected to MySQL. Now, that's because we have checked the correction here. This is a better way, no? I'll put it in our, no? I'll put this in our regular site. Now, on the other hand, no? If you make an a wrong password, so let's say you have a wrong password here, okay, and then you, okay, so there will be an access denied error. Do you follow? Do you follow? Do you get my point, everyone? No, I hope you're listening. No, so this is important, no, to check if there's an error during connection, because sometimes it's hard to locate the error. Unlike here, if you check the error before the connection, no, you will know whether you have connected successfully or not. Okay. So anyway, that's what connection is. It connects to the database using the given credentials, like the host, the user, the password, and the database to connect to. Do you follow? Okay. Okay na ito, no? Let connection, or you can just say var connection here. And then if you look at ORM, this is the set of functions that will return the results of the queries, or the queries that you do. For example, one of the functions that you create is select all. Do you follow? One of the JSON, it's in JSON format, no? There's a property and there's a function which is the value of the property. Okay. There's a callback function. This callback is a function that is called when there's an error, or when there's no data is returned. No? Do you follow? It just returns null, no? And then the data. No? If there's an error, for example, there's no the server has just expired, or has nawala yung server, is lost, it will call back the error, no? So it will give you an error and will throw a null data. When you say select star from restaurant burger, it will store all the values, no? In a JSON format also. Do you follow? In JSON format to the variable called data. Okay? Any questions so far? The select all by function is the one used, no? is the one used by the home page. Okay, so you are given a condition. This is the right way to do it, no? Because you can actually make a string where you say where given a condition, but if you use a string, no, you will be subject to SQL injection, no? So the condition is a field, okay, and the value is a string value. Do you follow? Okay, let's look at the views, no? Nandito yung views, no? Okay. So I think this is the no. Let's look at the no. Let's look at server.js. Okay. So when you say routes, no, it will go to the routes folder. Okay. And then the routes folder has handler.js, and then dito sa handlers, no, the slash will return. Okay. Select all by, no, router.get slash, which means the route for a get of the home. Okay, the home function will call ORM select all by. Okay, do you follow? And select, this is select all by. Okay, when you say select all by, is favorite, this is the name of the field. Okay, okay, and then it returns the function, no? It returns a function. If there's an error during the select, the error is rendered. It returns a function which calls the result. Okay. Okay. And if the select all by is successful, it will render index that handlebars. This index that handlebars. No, this is just a connection of divs. Okay. So it will call add burger. Add burger. What type of connection is this? Injection is this? This will inject a partial. Okay. Do you follow? This will inject a partial called add burger. So we will look at the partial here. This is add burger that handlebars. Do you follow? Okay. So actually this is the input with a button, right? So when you say localhost, this is the form with an input and a button. Do you follow? And this is the divs that list. Okay. This is the list of all burgers. Tama ba tayo? Okay. So it will inject a partial called add burger. Add burger, we have discussed partials, right? I hope, no? So add burger is actually a form, and then there's an each, okay? An each for each of the result, no, of the burgers, no, because add burger, by the way, we'll call this is called by ORM, okay? And we have a variable called result. Where did we get that? No, where did we get that? In the handlers that no. Okay, this is the result. Okay, we are going to render index and pass result. Do you follow? And then there's a style, no? Okay, there's a style and a title. Okay, these are two variables. Okay, so the result, the variable is a result, the value is the result being returned by the select all by function of our ORM. Do you follow? No? Okay. So that's index that alderbar for every result. No? This is the for loop. For each result, we are going to inject display burger for each. Now there's another partial display burger. So that burger name, this is already this. Okay, you don't have to call this because result passes each. Okay, passes each. So for each result, it passes this. Okay, and then what will result have? If you look at your handlers, no, result will have select star. I'm sorry. Okay. Our ORM, where's that? We'll have select star, which means when you say select star from restaurant burger, it will return the following JSON burger. Okay, it will return in JSON format. It will have ID, burger name, and is favorite. Okay, 3 fields. Do you follow? No. So it's now in the display burger partial. Nandito yung display burger partial. All burgers. I'm sorry, no, kasi itong index for each it will display one burger, no, and display burger will have a button. Do you follow? Is favorite. Okay. Do you follow? Okay. Okay. Do you follow? Okay. If it's favorite and favorite, if it's not, you add the favorite. Okay. But let's look at the button handler, no. Now, before we do that, no, there's a CSS, no. Ito yung CSS na ginagamit niya, no, for all burgers, for favorite burgers, for index, no. These are the CSS, no. For the header, the navigator that you have there, you have the images, no, of all the different burger types, and you'll have an app.js. Okay, this app.js is included in the, if you look at the main layout, no, the main layout is index.handlebars. Index ba? No, it's not. It's in layouts, no, and it is the layouts main.handlebars. If you look at that, no, it makes a call to the CSS, and depending on the on the burger, no, its favorite and favorite, you will call a style.css. Okay, do you follow? So it's either favorite or all, no, or all, depending on the which burger is being chosen by the user. Do you follow? And it makes a link to app.js. Okay. Now app.js is important because there's another JavaScript that will send data, no, by using Ajax. There's an Ajax example here. Okay. Dito sa CSS, and then here at JS. Okay. We have app.js. Okay. Okay. So this is actually a program that will add, no, contents, or rather divs, no, divs to the burger display. Do you follow? So i-edit niya yung it will edit, no, the burger display continuously, no. And now here's an important portion, no, because there's a submit button, no, in there's a submit button, no. It looks for a button of type submit, and this uses jQuery. Okay, so itong sa taas na to are plain JavaScripts, and there's a jQuery so that it will be easier to select, no, bottom type submit. Now where is this bottom type submit? That's in the add burger, in the add burger partial. Nandito, no, ito yung submit type submit. Do you follow? Okay, add burger bottom, this is of type submit. Now on the other hand, no, dun sa index, dun sa display burger partials, okay, there are buttons here, but these are not submit buttons. Do you follow? These are not submit buttons. Okay. Okay. Do you follow? Okay. Now, on the other hand, no, doon sa sa add burger, you will have a form with a submit button Hindi niya nilagyan ng ano no, ng method it should be post. But let's look at the routes. Routes no. Okay. Okay. So this is the route for the add, no? Ito yung post. It gets a burger name by request.body.burger name. This is the body parser, no? And if it's favorite, you don't need an ID because what you need to do is just to insert, no? ORM insert one, okay? And it will return a JSON format, okay? It will just return a JSON format, no? Of add. And anyway, we'll go back to the, wala siyang, it doesn't have to redirect, no? It doesn't have to redirect, so therefore, it will just go back to the get, no? Of all, no? So, no? Do you follow? Let's try to run this again. You have to refresh continually, okay? Test 2. Okay. Refresh natin, no? Bakit nawala, no? Nandito na si test 2. May konting error yung kanyang home, no? No, because it's not a favorite, okay? If you view all burgers, nandito na siya sa unfavorite. Okay? You must have to add, may konting error siya because the moment, let's add it again, no? The moment you add test 2, para it wouldn't be lost, you just have to click add to favorite. Okay, so that when you view all burgers, ano, mali ako, test, it should be test 2, I'm sorry, na. Test 2, you say add burger, no? And then you view that, so you'll have test 2, okay? Do you follow? Okay. So there's an Ajax call there, which does the adding of the new burger. Let's trace that. Itong add, oh. Okay. Do you follow? Okay. But before it does an add, it calls the add here. The JavaScript, no, for button submit is created. Do you follow? This is called a middleware. Okay, because this is run before this handler is done. Do you follow? So post that add, no, and then it calls ORM is one before it's inserted to the database. Okay, this app.js on click is done. This is a middleware, which means that it inserts between the actual add route, no, is fired, no. So isisingit ito, no. Do you follow? To do that, it will make an Ajax send. Take note, no. That's why this is a jQuery, okay, to select the button called which is type submit, no. Okay, and then it will add, okay, it will send a data to the URL/add with a method called post. Okay,
letter, then you
yes. Questions? And the data, the JSON is a JSON data with a field name or a property name burger underscore name and with a constant burger name ito, which is passed, no. Const burger name is the dollar input. Take note, no, dollar input name of burger name. If you look at the add burger, no, this is the, okay, input burger name. Ito yon, si burger name. Do you follow? So what this does is it makes a middleware that calls, kung tingnan mo, if you look at this, no, if you look at add burger, there's no method called post. Do you follow? Do you follow? Bungag is here. So you may ask, how is the post request sent? Anyone? because the form for add burger has no method called post, and it doesn't have even an action. Anyone? Paano na-add yung burger? And how is the post? How is the post route fired? Paano niya na-call yung post route na ito? Anyone? Kasi dito sa form mo, walang...
Ka-bright nila, oy!
Bungag. Bungag. Are you there? Okay. So the main question here is, how did the post fire when there's no method called post here? Because of the middleware in app.js, no? There's a middleware which will also fire on click. Do you follow? So it is important to mention here that the app.js here is a middleware that will run on the client side. Do you follow? Okay. So take note that in your main layout, no, this script js/app.js is a client script, no? Do you follow? Which means it runs on the browser, not on the server. So we have different JavaScripts here, no? This app.js will run on the client side. Okay, how will it run on the client side? First, it will look at the on click of this button, which is of type submit. You can also say name, no? Actually, you can also name, and then it will get the input, the value of the burger name input, which is this. Do you follow? This is the burger name input. Okay, and then it will do an AJAX call to this URL with a method of post, and will pass this data to that server. Do you follow? And then it will display the new burger. Where's the new burger? Here's a new burger. Okay, ito, i-call niya yung display new burger. What it does is just add, no? Okay, it just adds a new component, no, in the HTML. Do you follow? So i-prepend niyo ang content burger. Where is content burger? Okay, i-prepend niya, which means it's going to add it on the top of is this in this is the display burger for its result, and this is the dito niya i-prepend. Do you follow? Okay, burger list, this is of type burger. Let's look at that again. It's app.js kasi this is burger template, no? So it will call a div, no, with a class content burger list. So where is that? This is in the display burger, no? Ito yung si content burger list. Do you follow? So it will pick this class, no, with a class pick rather content burger list. Okay, so it will call an image, no, put an image there, and it will pick the paragraph, no, and it will pick the button, no, with data ID and this, and then the name.html is set to burger name, and the button.html is add to favorite, and then the burger container is appended. Okay, the burger container, where's the burger container? Dito sa sa add burger. It's in index, no? All burgers ba? Let's look at again, where's the burger container? No, burger container is a local name, no, which actually looks at the div. Do you follow? The div with an attribute content burger list, what this will do is append, no? It will prepend, no, the newly added uh, a burger to the HTML. Yeah, there's another way to do this, no? The simpler way will just be to refresh, no? Refresh at the back end. You can do this at the back end. This is a longer way of doing this. I'm going to come up with a version that doesn't have to do so much coding on the front end. Kasi ito idadagdag niya eh, no? What really happens there is this, no? When you go home and then you add test 3. So this is what it does. It prepends it to the div. Do you follow? But all you could have done is just add it, insert it to the SQL and refresh this. Refresh the whole page, no? I'll try to edit that. No, I lost time. I was intending to do that, but I ran out of time. So yeah. So there's another way without having to code it this much. Okay, when all it needs to do is just add a row at the beginning. So take note, there's an Ajax middle tier. This is called the middle tier because this runs in the middle between the post, no, to this to the post, the router post add. Do you follow? So ang nag-call, the one who called the router, the route add is not add burger because there's no post method here. Okay, but the one which calls the post method, the post request, is this middleware. Do you follow? Okay. Okay, do you follow? For removing one burger, no, there's also no, there's display. This is display new burger. No, it will just no prepend it to the content burger div. Where is that? Ito. Is it in all burgers or is it in here? It's in display burger. Ito. Do you follow? It will just prepend one paragraph. Okay. Do you follow? It will prepend one paragraph in this container on this div, which is called content underscore burger list. Okay, it's given an ID with an ID from the database. Do you follow? So that it can be picked by jQuery. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Let's look at the all burgers. No? There's a delete button. Do you follow? Okay. There's a delete button. Let's look at how this thing is fired. No? Ito sa delete. Do you follow? Look at this. It looks for all burgers, burger button on click. Okay. So this is another delete. Okay, this hides the parameter. Do you follow? Do you follow? So this one doesn't send data, no? Unlike in the Ajax, it calls data, no? It calls data by sending it as a JSON data. Do you follow? In the delete, we only need to pass the ID. So there's another middle tier for burgers. It picks all burgers, burger button, and on click. Let's look at the display all burgers. So is there a delete here? Yes. It looks for, okay, ang hinahanap nung app.js, it looks for all those burgers. So first there must be a div which is of class all those burgers, and there's a burger class and there's a button class. Okay, let's look at that. So there's no all burgers. So but there's a delete button. Or, by the way, it's an or, no? So there's a class burger. Okay. And then, okay, there's a class burger. Okay. And there's a button. Okay. It's a button template. Okay. It's either all burgers or burger or a button template. Okay, let's look at all burgers. So this is the class burger. And then there's a button. Okay. Do you follow? So there's another middleware. Look at that. There's no post method here for delete. Do you follow? There's no post method, but there's a middleware on the on click of the delete button, which is this. What it does is call an Ajax, make an Ajax call to this URL, delete with an ID, and call the method delete. Okay? Do you follow? With the method delete. So let's look at the delete route. Okay. So ito yung delete route. Look at that, no? It's a delete call. Method called delete. So it's a CRUD. Do you follow? So it gets the parameter, and we will call the method delete one of ORM. Where's that? Delete one. So ito, no? Given an ID. Given an ID, it will delete the corresponding record. Do you follow? Okay. So you can see the middleware here. For example, in the when you create add to favorite, okay? Do you follow? Add to favorite, it picks, okay, the ID, and then removes it from the HTML. Do you follow? Because it's in the main no. Okay. And then the add to favorite button, let's look for that, no? There's the middleware here, no? Okay. It just removes the div, no? Pag add to favorite burger, it just removes it from the div. Okay. Okay. This is the add to favorite button. Do you follow? This add to favorite button. Let's look at all burgers. Okay. Okay. Display burger, because for each burger you will have to display one burger. No. Display burger. Now in the display burger you will have a favorite or add to favorite. No. So the data ID, the data state is favorite. Okay. BTN default data ID is that's the ID of this. No? And then you can have unfavorite or add to favorite. This is the button here. And in app.js, it will click favorites. No? On click of favorites. Let's look at the display burger. Favorites. Ito, no? The class favorites. It will pick. Okay? Do you follow? Okay. And it will call the data ID. Okay. And the data state. And then we'll make a put call. Do you follow? An Ajax call with the method put. So if you look at the display burger, there's no method called put. Do you follow? But the put method is injected by the Ajax call in the front end. Do you follow? Then it will go with it call add to favorite. Okay. Add to favorite will just change the display. So now we look at the put route of handlers, no? So there's a put route, no, with an ID and a value. Okay, now it will update. It will just update, no, what is it does, it will just update the record, the corresponding record of the given ID. So any questions so far? So what I'd like about this code is it uses both, no? The client side, it has a client side script, no? Which does an AJAX call, okay, to activate the correct route. Okay, do you follow? So it's a normal CRUD, which has a post, get, a put, and a delete. Do you follow? So update is put, diba? Diba? Okay. Create is post, read is get, update is put, and delete is of course delete. So kompleto siya, no? It has all the routes for the HTTP routes, like get, post, delete, and put. Okay? So very normal HTTP. It was able to demonstrate all the different routes, no? By just doing injections on the client side using AJAX calls. No? What is AJAX? AJAX is a jQuery function that will send data to a given route. Okay, it can either send a parameter, it can even send JSON data, like in the post, no? Ito JSON data ito, no? It sends a JSON data to this URL called add. Okay, any questions so far? Any questions? Now, I'd like to show you, no, another application. Okay, this is the one written by Radi. Okay, it's a good thing that Radi created an application using handlebars, no, because Radi is an EJS coder, no. EJS talaga ito siya, but to demonstrate CRUDs, he wrote a very special code for handlebar coders, no. So it's ready for us, no. Okay. Okay. You can look at the video, no, and you can download the. It's much easier to configure. Mas madali configure yung kay Radi. Okay. It is a user management module. It's also CRUDs, but table based, no. Hindi lang siya masyadong AJAX, no. Wala masyadong. It doesn't have so much of AJAX, no. But it's much simpler, no. It uses more of response rather body parser, no. Kasi ang body parser is already sufficient to send data to the given posts. No? Ito, no. Okay, there's a video and you can download the code here. Do you follow? Do you follow? Okay. Any questions so far? So anyway, let me start from scratch, no? Tanggalin ko muna ito, no? We'll just use this, no? We'll reuse this, no? Okay. I've removed the table by Radi. And then let's unzip. No? We'll rename this. And let me unzip it here, no? Okay, so here it is, no? Let's open this in Visual Studio Code. So very extensive yung code ni Axime is very extensive. It demonstrates everything, no? Everything on the HTTP methods, from create, read, update, delete. Wala siyang search. It doesn't have a search anyway. But this one uses a search. Okay. Let's try to run this now. Anyway, there's app.js, okay, and then in the terminal, we know what to install, no? So we have npm to make sure, no, we have an updated date, ano, kasi baka luma, we just have to update. Npm install, that's the save. We can install once, no? We have express. We know what to install already because it's there in the code. Handlebars, and then we have body parser. Body parser, and it uses that end and MySQL. Okay. Okay. Do you follow? Can we try running it? Node app.js. Okay. Now let's call the, no, call it from here. This time it runs on 5,000. Okay. So most probably there will be an error because we haven't set the database. Okay. But I think all the modules are there, no? So likewise, no? So may error na siya, nag-error na siya dito because we made an, we did not do the database, no? First, let's look at our server, and I think saan ba niya nilagay? Maybe it's just in the code itself, no? Ang kanyang ano is it has controllers, no? Nandito sa controller, most probably, nandito na sa controller niya nilagay. Do you follow? Do you follow? Okay. We'll just wala siyang .end file, so it doesn't have. Let's not create a .end file because it wasn't successful. Anyway, let's just make this simple, no? Localhost. Okay. We already have root 1. We already have we don't have a password for root 1, so it's all right. And we already have the database burgers DB. We can reuse it, no? Burgers DB. Okay. Save this. Now, hindi rin maganda yung pagka-connect niya, no? Okay. Saan siya nag-connect, no? And then I didn't like the view. No? I didn't like the view, no? Because this is confusing. We'll change that later to show users, okay? But let's make this run first. No? Okay. Then let's call this here from here. Runs on port 5000, is that correct? Yes. Ayaw pa niya because we don't have the tables here. No? So what we'll do is we create the tables. We have it here, no? There's a user schema, and then we'll just remove that management, the schema name from the create table because obviously we are using burgers DB, okay? Yeah. We're using burgers DB, so we'll leave it like that, no? Okay. Let's find out. Okay. So naka-create na siya, it has created a table. And then secondly, we will get the data, no? So we'll copy this and paste it in our workbench. We can also use the data workbench, no? We'll run this. Okay. How many inserted? 18 rows inserted. So we can test run. select star from user. Okay, so we have the 18 users. Okay, any questions? Now, can we run it again? Kasi data from table is undefined. So that's why, ayan, nag-work na siya. Do you follow? Do you follow? So for example, let's run the search first. Shall we say Henry? We call search. So mag-search niya A. Search na lahat ng A. Okay? Do you follow? Rows. Search na lahat ng rows. Okay? Do you follow? Maganda, di ba? Now, there's a view. Okay? You can view the record, and then you can go back to home, and then there's an edit. Okay, okay, and then you can submit. There's a submit, no? Okay, and then when you go home, so it has changed. Okay, you can even delete. Let's add first. Let's add John, then submit. Okay, so we'll go back home, and is John there? Yes, it's here. We can delete it, no? And it's wala lang siyang prompt. I will update this, no, and put a prompt, because if you accidentally press the delete and there's no prompt, you lose the data right away, no? Any questions so far? Now let's look at the code. Okay, so this is handlebars also, no? So this is also on handlebars. So basically, it has a local CSS. It doesn't have a JavaScript, which means that it doesn't do any Ajax. Do you follow? Because there's no local JavaScript. Okay, CSS lang. So I'd like, mas maganda sana yung may Ajax, no? So that we can convert the program. I'll try to do that, no? We'll convert the program into, yung add niya, edit and delete, will convert it into modals. Kasi pangit yung kanyang add. Okay? And we look at that again. Okay. 5,000. Okay. Mag-add ka, no? Okay. Well, it's good enough, no? But I've seen one. In fact, I've seen one which, when you create an ad, a modal pops up. Okay, but you have to use that middle tier again, where in the ad user you don't have a post. Okay, you don't have a post, but you will have a middle tier that will collect the data before sending it to the ad, to the post route. Okay, you follow? Just like Axime, the code ni Axime is good because there's a middle tier which makes an Ajax, so which means you can hide all the data that you will send to the server. Okay, we follow. Let's look at the search first. No? Okay. So by the way, no. So this is meron siyang CSS. Okay, and then galing siya sa it's from I hope it's not SAS. No? It comes from a different and then the controllers, no. The controller is actually the controller for the actually this is the model. Do you follow? Do you follow? And the routes, okay? Itong users, ang slash is the controller view. I'd like to change this to controller show, because this is not a view file, no? Do you follow? Okay, and then in the user controller, we'll change this to the view. We'll change this to show. Okay, do you follow? Because it's confusing to say view, because you may refer it to a view file. It's not a view file, no? It's just a function. Let's try to run it. If it works, it still works. On 5,000. It works, no? Do you follow? So I did nothing, wala namang masama doon, no? I did nothing, I did nothing dangerous, no? Wala, no harm done. I just have to name because I didn't like the way he calls it view because it's confusing, no? Do you follow? This is export.show, which means it will show all users. Okay. So this is the controller for show. This is the controller for find. This is the controller for add user form. Okay, this is the get actually, no? Okay, do you follow? So this is the controller for create new user. Okay, so let's look at the find first, no? This is the exports that find. I-export niya yung function na ito, no? As find, no? Do you follow? And if you look at the routes, the routes, no? User.js, ang get will use user controller that show. Do you follow? So this is the user controller that show. This is the one that is done, no? Do you follow? And then if you have another route, no? Wala tayong ano, by the way, we don't have a find here. Let's look at the find in the view, no? So it renders, no? What will it render? Home. It will render the home's view. Now you may ask, why is this home HBS? It's no longer home.handlebars. Do you follow? Because he has shortened it, no? This is the way to shorten the extension. Okay, you say engine HBS x name HBS. Otherwise, if you don't do this, no, the default extension will be handlebars. So this will be HBS, this will be HBS, and this will be .hbs. And it shortens your extension from handlebars to HBS. Okay, do you follow? Do you follow? So we look at the routes, no? Ito yung routes, no? Itong user controller that show. It will render the home handlebars. Ito yung home handlebars, okay? The main layout, by the way, is here, no? Ito yung main layout. Wala siyang JavaScript. So yeah, wala siyang Ajax call. Do you follow? There's no Ajax call, no? That's the facility of Ajax. Ajax is every programmer's dream, where you can inject, a middle tier before contacting your server. Okay? Itong sa kanya in this here, no? It has a method post and it has an action. So therefore, it will call the route right away, no? When the submit button is clicked. Ito. It's simple, no? But this is difficult to convert into modal forms. Kasi sa modal forms, you will have a button, we will have a submit button which will not do a post action. Do you follow? So you insert the middle tier in your JavaScript and do an Ajax call that will fire the post action. Okay? I'll try to do that here, no? Anyway, no? Do you follow? No? Okay. Okay. So this is the nav bar, no? Okay. This is the search button. Do you follow? And there's a submit. Ito ang hindi. This is not. I didn't like this so much because you can only have one submit button per form. So therefore, you have no way but to call the post action. Okay. Anyway, no, nag-call na siya ng post action. Okay. Plus deflex of this form. It calls a post action to this route. And then we look at the route, no? So user controller show. So it will call user controller show. In user controller show, okay. Bakit where status equals active, no? And then ang find pala, no, I'm sorry. Ang find pala, it's not user controller show, it's user controller find. Okay, let's look at the route, no? This is the post, no? because ito yung post, no? Do you follow? We are looking at the post because this is the route which is called by the submit button. Do you follow? So the get button will call the show, and the post button will be fired by the submit button in the home view. Okay. Saan yung search button? Now, look at that. The href, the add button will not do a post, but it's just an href with type class button primary. So therefore, it looks like a button, but it actually will just redirect the action to /add user. Okay, which is a get. Obviously, this is a get. Now, where's the main? Okay, dito yung main, dito yung search. Okay, do you follow? And there's a post action to the search, and which will call a post, no? Post action to the user route. So ito yung post, not the get. Do you follow? Now in the user controller, now you can use this for your performance assessment. You can have users, you can have teachers, subjects, students, no? One file each. Do you follow? So here's fine. Select from user. This like percent. This percent is actually a parameter, no? Which is percent search term. I-inject niya ito. This will be injected in this in SQL statement, no? The first parameter is injected to the first question mark. The second parameter is injected into the second question mark. Okay, do you follow? Okay. Search term is rec.body.search. This is the advantage of body parser. Rec.body.search. So this is the search element, no, in the main HBS. Ito name, which is search. Ito, do you follow? Do you get my point? No. So that's what the does, no? It calls rec.body.search your last name like. Okay. Your first name like this or last name like. So it will both compare the first name or the last name. Okay, which means that if you run it, no? If you run it from here, no, remotely, no, do you follow? You can also search for the last name. Okay, Usman. I think this is the MySQL like is case insensitive, no? Do you follow? No? You can refresh. So we can say Israel. It's case insensitive anyway. Do you follow? Okay. So this is a full CRUDs. Unfortunately, there's a submit button here. However, the add button will call a different page, no? Which will have a different submit button. So okay lang ito, no? Do you follow? So there's another submit button. Dapat nawala na itong search dito. And then the edit, which will have another submit button. We look at that, no, individually. Okay. Do you follow? First, we will call the add user.handlebars. Okay. Okay. There's an injection called user form. Okay. There's an if then else, no, if alert of handlebars. We have discussed this already. So this is an injection of a partial called user form. So it's in the views and then partials user form. Ito yan, no? This is just a form, and take note that there's a submit button. Do you follow? No? Do you follow? Okay. So it's in the add user handlebars. Now it injects. Now in the edit user, okay, you will have also an injection of a partial called the same user form. No? No? So this is the good thing about a partial, because you don't have to repeat your form either for adding or editing. Do you follow? Okay. Do you follow? Okay. Now take note that the user only the contents of the form are made partials. No? So if you look at the partial user form, wala yung form tag. Okay, but the form tag is in here because the action is different. Do you follow? The action code is different. For an edit user, the post route is edit user, and for add user, the post route is add user. So if you look at controller, or rather your routes, no? Your user.js. So dito papunta yung edit user, dito papunta yung add user post. So both of them will have get and post. Okay? Okay, do you follow? Any questions so far? So the one thing that I didn't like about this is a simpler code, no? That the only thing that I didn't like about this is it doesn't have Ajax. So makikita mo yung parameters. You can see the parameters in edit, get, view, user. Okay, do you follow? I hope it's done quickly, no? Let's look at that. I'll try to convert this into an Ajax form because the Ajax form will allow us a lot of more, ano. O yan, nakita mo dito. Do you follow? Do you get my point? So we don't like that. No? Unlike in Axime, no, you don't see that because there's a middle tier that calls an Ajax, makes an Ajax call to the server. So there's no post. There's no post in the views. Okay. Ito may post dito. Okay. And then when you say add user, there's a post here. What will happen if you click the post here? So it's a different, no, anyway, it will open a different route. It will call a different get. Okay, so okay lang, no? This will call a different, no, a different route. So this will, they will not conflict with each other. Any questions so far? Okay, so at this point, it's sufficient for you to create the CRUDs, no? Okay, here's your performance assessment. Due on March 14 ba? No, March 14. No, this is not the one. Okay. Next meeting we will discuss a new we'll start with EJS, no? A new templating language which is mostly used also, no? Dalawa ang popular ngayon, no? EJS and handlebars, okay? Ito na. Here's the rubrics. The deadline is March 14. So you will have to create tables, no? Teachers, subjects, and students. Okay. So the different CRUDs, no? You will have a create teacher, subject, student, search. Bakit walang ano? Dapat may search. Okay. Merong search pala, no? Okay. You'll have to create, update, delete, and search. And then the main website is at 20%. Okay. So 3 tables are created. Any questions so far? No. I'll do work on the on the RADI code and try to convert into an Ajax. I hope I can finish it over the weekend. And then convert the add and the edit into modals. I have done that in ASP.NET Core, no? Iba talaga pag modals, okay? Do you follow? Any questions so far? Bootstrap modals, no? Any questions? So I have called everyone now. Is Abalos here? Alquino, is Book here? Yes, Book is here. Book.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Bungag. Ihara. Kang. Wala namin sila. Tan. Okay. So I hope you'll be able to finish within the first week of March, okay? Dapat matapos tayo dito. March 14 is your deadline. And this is we can extend it a little bit on March 16, but March 20 to 26 is the exam week. Okay? Any questions so far? I hope we can finish until log in and log out, no? But you can do that, no? If you look at the videos, no? The videos which I've shown there, no? So this one is useful, no, for understanding. This explains respond or rather body parser. So you can use this, no, yung cookies and sessions, and then authentication. These are useful, no, so that you will have login and log out. You can do that if you go through these tutorials, okay? But as of the moment, you have sufficient code or examples to do your CRUDs. Any questions? So bye everyone, no? Everyone, I'll upload this recording. I didn't upload the last meeting because there's nothing to it.
Sir, thank you po.
Bye everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.